Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 5 of Cloudy Game Reviews. We are your hosts. Over there is Mayne. Down there, at least on my screen, I don't know what it is on your screen, the awesome PurpleHaze, the equally awesome Mayne, and I, of course, am Jeff. How is everybody doing on this Saturday? Welcome, another good gaming review.
How are you doing, Purple? I'm doing just great. I'm doing amazing. This is a great show for me. I'm ready to get into this. I have some pointers and some thoughts of my own. But how are you doing today, Purple?
I'm doing really well, actually. For us in the United States, it's a long weekend. I understand it's a long week for some other people around the world. But it's a weekend. I'm here. I'm talking to two of my favorite people about a game on Stadia that I'm just excited, So got my run in, got my smoothie in. It's just a great, beautiful day today. So I'm doing well.
Way to make me feel bad. You did a run and a smoothie? Jeez.
Oh my God. I got to train.
I went grocery shopping to pick up the pizza and cake for my parents' party because they're going to be here soon.
Yes.
I'm doing laundry.
Doing
all sorts of stuff. The clothes don't get cleaned themselves.
That's true. That's true.
So everybody, make sure you check out the PNTS network for articles from the panel.
It's coming.
Keep an eye on the website as well. There are lots of streams. There are lots of giveaways coming up. And you guys don't know this yet, but you will soon. Purple and I are scheming about a little something for October. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Raymond up. I forgot to mention other 3 hosts of the CGR, LoFi, Ray, and William are off this week. They will be back next week for episode 6. Another great episode, another great game, but they are in the chat. I also want to give a big shout out to community members for Classic Gaming, as well as the new all-purpose champ, David Dean Wilson, for taking down the Cloud Gaming Championships last week. If you did not see his adequate performance, it was adequate. He started off with a win in the Super Animal Royale. He then took it to Wave Break. He then took it to Trials Rising. And then, of course, the finale was in that other game, which is not in my show notes because it's screwed up, which is not in my teleprompter. Crap! The 4th game, he took that down.
Death Carnival!
Death Carnival! Thank you. Death Carnival. Breakdown in my teleprompter. So he took down Death Carnival. He is now, with the exchange rate, he is the 425-pound man for winning the 500 American. Let's call him the 400 wait, that doesn't sound right, does it? Never mind. He is now no one else can use the moniker all-purpose champ other than him because he took it down. And also, for Classic Gaming, fought to the end. For Classic Gaming.
Shout out to For Classic Gaming.
For Classic Gaming.
Let's give it out.
Yeah.
Big up.
For Classic Gaming with the 2nd place. All right, but that's not why we are here. Why are we here? We are here to talk Atari. We are here to talk about Atari Recharged on Stadia. This is the 2nd game, and hopefully one day this will be the 3rd. Anyways,
what? Sneak peek.
What? No, this will never make it to the game. I have it on good authority. This will never make it to state. Never be recharged. I have it on pretty good authority.
Yeah, it's Arizona says so. Arizona, New Mexico. I think it's New Mexico says it's not happening.
I'm not even sure if they have the source code. They may have actually burnt the source code.
Oh, that thing is toast.
For the game, they may have thrown it out. But we are here for Atari Recharged, the 2nd game they've put out on Stadia. Everybody loved Centipede. We'll talk a little Centipede too, but we're going to talk a little bit about Atari Recharged. What is that? It's a daring attack against an enemy homeworld, guarded by the mechanical hives that pulse deadly cannons, emit flurries and swirling missiles. Shoot from ranges, you find pockets. Stop scrolling. Find pockets amongst the hail of incoming fire, and then dart forward in daring forays to nibble away on the enemy's defenses. Gather enough energy by destroying the enemy's shields, and you can power up the massively destructive Zorlon Cannon, which sends soaring blasts of golden energy into the enemy hives. Atari Recharged is the latest title from Atom Vision Studios and Sneaky Box, the team behind the Atari Recharged series, infusing elements of arcade, shoot 'em up, bing bang, and bullet hell into the classic formula. Atari Recharged requires players to remain acutely aware of visual and audio cues. Crap, I keep the sound off. That hint of impending danger, and to master rhythms of each boss that they as they navigate increasingly complex enemy defenses, all to the adequate soundtrack by Megan McDuffie. Let's see the trailer. Here we go.
What?
We're waiting for. Oh, you sent it to me. That means I gotta push play. Right. Yes, sir. So this game came out on my mother's 90th birthday, August 23rd, and I've been playing like everybody else a crap ton. Ms. Hayes, your initial thoughts?
So my initial thoughts are, so for us who were around during the first Atari Recharged on the Atari 2600, I was never really a big fan of that one because it was a lot of lights. It was like a lot of like, but this one, to me, I am really pleased with like the recharged element of it. Like it is an actual game. It's very visually stunning. Huge shout out to Megan McDuffie, the award-winning composer, for once again doing her magic with this. I really like, y'all know, like in the beginning of Centipede, I was super into it, still am. But Atari Recharged has definitely captured like that I don't know how to explain it, that addiction to just try to beat your score, to try to get a little bit further and to really test your, twin stick shooting capabilities.
Yes. Failed to mention, there is a 30-minute trial. So if you are not a Stadia Pro member, for example, if you've been a Stadia Pro member since the beginning and then you decided to cancel your membership because you play more on, I don't know, I'm just making crap up, your PlayStation, there's a 30-minute trial. So you are able to play the game. I see Crow Resin in the chat waving from the back along with other people. This is great. So yes, of course, I'm old. I have original games of these. As you know, I loved all the Atari games. You know what?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to find a game I just don't like. I may not be good at them.
Mm-hmm.
So don't confuse my not being good at a game and not liking the game. I am not. I like games. I like PUBG. I like other games. I just can't shoot worth crap.
Yeah. Oh, that's totally fine.
But I like games. This one is great for me because I don't have to yes, you shoot, but I'm not having to hit a target. It's not like I'm hunting Ray down on my horse and I'm trying to shoot him and I'm going like this, right? In Red Dead, this is easy because we're just there. You're just shooting. Things are shooting back at you, etc. So now, Mayne, you have a confession.
I do have a confession. I am wearing the proverbial Jeff hat today, as in I have yet to play a Centipede Recharged or Yars Recharged. I did play after this conversation, and when you were talking about Purple, I do remember playing Yars. My first console was an Atari 2600, and I do remember Yars. There was Yars Revenge, I believe, the Yars Return that came out. I did play a couple of those, but it really didn't get like those types of games didn't really stick with me until later on when I played games like Darius and Pilot Wings and things like that. So I love the genre. It's just that these games I've yet to try. A Centipede, of course, it's a staple. I've played Centipede before. I didn't get into the Recharge. So today, pretty much, you guys, by talking and looking at the chat, of course, I'm about to say convince me to play these games. I'm going to go ahead and play these games, but just go ahead and your opinions will definitely carry weight with me as far as these games go, for sure.
Well, and we can't blame you. My backlog of shame is huge. There are April Pro games I haven't dove in yet.
I'm sure.
So it's I can't blame you for not. What's great about, obviously, we all know this, Stadia, is I can play on my phone. So when I'm out in a boot, I can easily. I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose.
Canadian had to do it for the Canadians.
I did that on purpose.
One time.
Yeah, the Canadian government CSIS is going to take me down for saying that. But I can quickly Centipede. I can quickly play that on my phone. Yars, I can quickly play it on my phone because I can do that. What was great about Centipede is my son and I went to the drive-in, I don't know, a month ago. Mm-hmm. And I brought my laptop. We got there early so we could get a nice spot right in front and not too many people behind in front of us, etc. So we had like an hour to kill. So I fired up my laptop, connected it to my hotspot on my phone, and I was playing. I played some Crata, but I also played Centipede. And I think I told the story before. There was some kids walking by, and they're like, "Hey, look, this guy's playing video games in his car." And so kid comes, this group of, teenage boys, like 13, 14, I don't know how old they are, snot-nosed kids. And they said, "What are you playing?" And I said, "I was playing Centipede on a system you've never heard of." And they're like, "What's that?" And I said, "I was playing on Google Stadia." And of course, most of them never heard it. And this one kid goes, "Oh, I've heard of that. Oh, it sucks." I said, "Yeah, you're right." He goes, "Yeah, so much lag." And I said, "Yeah, can't you see all the lag?" And he's watching my screen going, "No, I don't understand. How are you playing this?" I said, "On my phone. I'm just hotspot to my, my 4G on my phone." He goes, "But you're playing that so smooth." Mm-hmm. Like the kid was shocked. And again, just playing it on my phone, you can quickly boot up. That's what's great about it. So I know, Mayne, you got young kids, been there, done that with the young kids. So know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to take time, right?
Yeah.
So I don't blame you. The backlog of shame is huge. But yeah.
And I'm sorry, Ray. I see Ray says, "No, man, come on." I apologize, Ray. It's just, again, man, between all the things that I juggle, of course, you know what it's like, man. That ship is set sail for you, man. I got a 2-year-old and work, and I'm still getting through Spiritfarer and all that stuff, man. So cut me some slack, dude. Come on, man.
Shout out to episode number 1, episode number 2, Spiritfarer.
Yes.
A free pro game now.
Yes.
So if you saw our review or you didn't, go back and watch it, and then you can now play it if you're a pro member for free.
Come on. So yeah, just cut me some slack, Ray. I'll get to it, man. I'll get to it, definitely. Come on, man.
So William, a co-host that's not on today, he'll be back next week, said the leaderboard is addictive. Now, I did not get a chance to get to see the leaderboard for Centipede last night. Mm-hmm. I kept wanting to, and then I kept getting distracted. So I never got a chance to see who in fact is in the top of the leaderboard for Centipede. I know that Mr. Storm, friend of Purple's,
friend of the community, friend of all cloud gamers,
friend of Purple's and Mayne. He was at the top. Don't know if he still is. I know Crow Resin is in the chat. He will fact check me because he is my official fact checker and stream reviewer, Steam's rating adjuster. So if he can fact check that, if he can, real quick.
Yeah. Well, so here's a little difference between Centipede and we can talk a little bit more about Yars and
We can talk
Centipede.
Centipede too. We can talk both. We can talk both games. Then I have a question for both of you and the chat.
So one of the things about Centipede's leaderboard is you can only really see the people who are a few spots above you and a few spots below you.
Oh.
And however, in Yars, you can see the entire leaderboard. So, or a lot more of the leaderboard. So that's a big difference.
Okay. In the Yars leaderboard last night, I noticed Scooterama was third when I clicked on something. I clicked on something. I don't know what I clicked on.
Probably Friends.
Yeah, I don't know. I clicked on something and I saw that there's my boy Crow already looking it up. Yeah, so I saw that Scooter. I didn't recognize the other two names, but
yeah. You know, the Stadia community is bigger than the 5 rotating people on YouTube that people can think. There are people out there who are serious gamers in Stadia. Who are not in the YouTube. There's a Twitch Stadia community.
Oh yeah.
The Reddit has a community.
Oh yeah.
So there are definitely Stadians out there.
You are not wrong, because whenever I play Super Animal Royale, I always see a few random Stadias, and I'm like, who's that? I don't know that person. Who's that person? So I do see some other Stadians in the Super Animal Royale, but not everybody creates content. Not everybody is as vocal as Ray. So it is awesome. Okay, so I did not realize that about the leaderboard, so thank you for that. Yeah. I'm nowhere near anywhere on a leaderboard, so I don't focus on that too much. But I know Will was at the top of the leaderboard for a while, but I'm not sure who's there now. So
no, but it takes a lot of patience now. In the beginning, you could get up to the top relatively with a little bit of work, but now it takes an extreme amount of patience and time. So shout out to all the people who are gunning for those leaderboards, because it is tough.
Yeah, I've seen some of the streams about for the Centipede stuff, and just the amount of for me it's the amount of time you guys put. I'm just I don't even know if I can I do a pause break or something like that. It's just it takes a lot of time, and I commend every single person who goes after that, who's attempted or completed that or set a record. My hat's off to you. I commend you guys immensely, because that takes a lot of time and dedication and skill to be able to pull that off consistently throughout time in that game. So my hat's off to y'all, every last one of y'all.
Of course. Well, it was also a save to me. SPG, if you remember, I was up there, and then I quietly realized I did my job to evolve the Stadia community to the next level of Centipede greatness. So you and me both there.
That is awesome. Right. Yeah, so we need to I got a feeling that we may see this game in a future community championships somewhere.
Which one? Sure. Centipede or Yars?
Either one.
Centipede was in the Centipede was in the
Oh, that's right. The winter
right. No, in the second round of this year's championship was a Centipede challenge. So
I have a question, not only for you two, but for the entire chat. What game do you think is next? They have the official Atari Twitter account, and shout out to the Atari social media team. If you're watching, I did extend an olive branch to see if they wanted to come on the show. They hinted that they might be watching, so if you are watching and just lurking, welcome. The community loves you. You don't have to say hi if you don't want to. I understand social media. I understand what you should and can and cannot do. I understand. I extended an invitation to Wade as well. Anyways, they have hinted a game is coming in September. I believe. I believe they tweeted a game is coming in September. What do we think? What do we think? And I can also, with good authority, tell you it will not be this one. But what do you think the next game will be? Or what are you hoping it will be? I want to see comments in the chat. tell me what you think the next game
Ooh.
will
So
be.
if
Or
I
could
had,
be.
so selfishly, y'all know what type of gamer I am, right?
Yeah.
I kind of like adventures, but I also like puzzles. So
Okay.
I am hoping the next Atari game, and I do want to talk about Yars in Centipede a little bit more in depth. But personally, I am hoping the next one is Cobanera, or the puzzle one that the new IP they released earlier this year. It's a puzzle game with balls. Oh my gosh.
Space Invaders.
So I'm hoping that I had to think about that statement I just made, but it is a cool game, and that's what I'm hoping is next. But we'll see. But I can tell you which one I would want to see from the Recharge series, but I'm hoping we get that puzzle, Cabanera.
I think the next game will be from the Recharge series. I think. Shout out to Ray. Pitfall, that would be awesome. Crow with the Space Invaders. Space Invaders is just a natural fit. It just fits along with these other ones. And there's so many things they could recharge with that.
Well, I mean, they announced the other Recharge ones, right? So the other ones, Black Widow.
Okay.
Breakout.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Asteroid. Or whatever it's called, where you're in the, it's called Asteroid, I thought. So I believe those are the other ones, but I mean, I think the overall Recharge series as a whole is a couple more, right? So I wouldn't mind seeing, there's just tons. We could go down which Atari games we want to see coming up. Like there's so many more. Like I am a big fan of Missile Command. I think I could take anybody in that game. Yes, I just said that. Like that one probably, with the exception of chess and maybe Age of Empires, I've put the most time in Missile Command.
Okay, Atari, I know you're in the chat lurking, and that's fine. Bring Missile Command so we can
I will take it. I will take it.
Tournament.
I will take it.
Purple takes on everybody in Missile Command.
It's game over. It's literally, and I'm not talking about the show. It would literally be game over. You're out of quarters. You don't want to spin his name because I will take it. Done. It's not even like the gauntlet's not even thrown. Like, don't try it. Certified Doc, if you're out there, don't try it. David Wilson, don't try it. For Classic, don't try it.
Oh my God.
You're gonna get embarrassed.
Shout out to Ray. Atari Mania is coming. Mini Atari games. Yes, we know that. Yes, it is coming. So that would be awesome. That's gonna be fun to play. Of course, Purple wears everything better than me. What the hell?
No, it's not why.
I'm just an old fat man. I can't.
Oh,
I have
come on.
no sense of style or fashion.
Yes, you do. Remember that onesie you wore in the snow?
No, you got to be more specific. I have several onesies I wear in the snow. I also have Halloween ones. You got to be more specific than that.
That's true. Okay, I didn't catch the Halloween one, but I caught the Christmas one. I'm a big Halloween guy, but that Christmas one was snazzy, and I'm gonna give you that.
But I have two.
The red one.
The suit.
Yeah. Okay, it was a suit. Yeah, that's what I like.
Okay, all right.
That's what I like. You gonna wear that again this year? Okay. I'll be tuning in for that.
The Pope
well, to both of those.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Define blue and define. But let's not there.
Right.
You know, this is about Atari. This is about game reviews.
I will say personally though. I would say that a game that I played the most and I would love to see come back, if anything, and it's probably might call me a casual Atari guy. I was a young boy then. Joust. I actually enjoyed the hell out of Joust.
Yeah.
And I would love to get into that again. That would be good for me. It seemed like a fun game to jump into. So that's that or Lunar Lander. That's another good one too. So I got a couple that I played, but I think that Joust was the one that out of my dad's collection that I played the most.
Right. Where is this collection?
Of my dad's stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, with him, man. It was his when he went to LSU and he had it in a box, and after I grew up and I got a SNES, he boxed it back up and shipped it out. That was it.
And it was I can't see it was Atari. And to throw out a little bit of, let's see if anybody knows their Atari history here, or because I have got pride in Atari. Atari holds a certain place in my heart because of what it did for gaming, and what they're in the comeback they're doing. Amazing job. But what is the number one selling original Atari IP on the Atari 2600? The best selling title.
Oh God, it could be anything.
Right.
It could be anything, but there's some clues there. I specifically worded that a certain way.
Okay.
That's the question again.
The number one selling title on the Atari 2600 that is an Atari original IP.
What is the number?
Right.
No,
Google.
no, don't do that. Don't do that. I will give y'all but no, see, y'all have to remember Atari, but that was built.
Oh,
So
Crow's got Pac-Man. That's a good answer.
Pac-Man, it was originally an arcade port. If y'all correctly. So see, this is now adventure. No. Come on, let's remember Atari.
While the chat throws in some answers, my favorite game on Atari and in the arcade was 1942. We've talked about that on Retro Rewind. That was a game that I spent a lot of quarters on back in the day. 1942. I love that game.
You know what though? Now that it was either I was thinking Pitfall.
Not Pitfall.
Because I do remember my dad playing that too. But yeah, I believe it is Pac-Man.
Pong was one of the original games.
No.
No.
Ooh. It's not okay. It's not Pitfall.
If the Atari Twitter account is in the chat, they can throw an answer.
They will know what this is. I'm almost positive. I'm almost positive this.
Wade, if you're here in the chat, lurk and throw up the answer.
Oh my God.
I like the answer Pong. We talked about Pitfall. Could be Space Invaders.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That was in the arcade
too. Okay.
That was in the arcade.
For the 2600, right? I gave you hints, so it could not be Pong. Could not be Pong.
Could be Galaga. I was thinking Galaga. Q-Bird. Oh, I love Q-Bird.
I can give you. Do y'all want me? I love the titles. I'm just throwing out names. Let me see. Centipede. Oh my God.
Come on, Pro. Doesn't your Bing? Can't you go
y'all are missing. I'm gonna give it 10, 9. 8.
Oh, she's giving
7.
The Chris Jericho.
6.
Ray's going breakout.
5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And y'all are gonna just get so upset because it's right in front of you. Yar's Revenge.
Wow.
Y'all named everything.
Wow. All right, everybody. Well, that was my time. I'll go ahead and see you next show. Mayne out.
Yar's Revenge was the number one selling original Atari IP for the Atari 2600.
Wow.
So kudos to you all. Kudos to Atari. And that is one of the reasons why I'm so excited about this review, is because Yar's actually means a lot when you think about what it did for gaming. But a lot of people, and I want to throw this out because, the youngins over there on Helix Cloud Gaming, because I'm a huge supporter of that channel too. And a couple of people on the States side wondered, what does Yar's Revenge mean? And so, and Jeff, you may actually know this, because if you actually remember, go ahead, Crow. Try to fact check me. Go ahead. Y'all know when Purple never bet against Purple.
Can the behind the scenes studio? Can you play what I just threw up? Can you share that while Purple
talks about Yar's a little bit more.
There we go.
But
thank you.
The Yar's, when you bought the game, and if you have this, so I will be willing to spend quite a bit if I could find this. There's actually a Yar's comic in the actual game box when you buy it that explains who Yars is, who the army is, who the enemy is, why there's a revenge going on. So there's actually stories to this game. Ooh. And exactly, here's the game. Love, I can turn down the volume just a little on that one. Let me see if I can maybe get it for you. But yeah, so that is Touches was the most successful non-licensed game on the Atari 2600. So Crow, was she right or was she wrong? Was she right or was she wrong? Let me just know, because y'all like to, everybody simpleton if he's out there. Y'all like to bet against me, Rudigs. You youngins, don't let the face fool you. I was there.
Yeah, with the youngins too.
You like to throw. You got like little kids running around. No. I was there. So, and I'm surprised no one actually said it was literally the name of this title. But yeah, Yar's Revenge actually has some story to it. And there's a reason why. And fun fact, another one, if you haven't read the comic and you're interested to read it, you can definitely find it in PDF format. But they actually are, the Yars people are originators of the common fruit fly on Earth. So another little fun fact.
You can see why just watching the video. It was very flashy. So, on an old CRT that we all would have played this on, that would have been a thing.
Okay, so listen, I'm while we're doing the show, I'm also playing through a little bit of Yar's Revenge, or I'm sorry, Yar's Recharged, and this is really, really fun. Really, really fun. Okay, I see what you guys are saying. My apologies for not getting to it sooner.
No, it is an addicting twin stick shooter. Now, I will say this, and as y'all know, I am doing the written review for the site this week. Mm-hmm. It is a solid twin stick shooter. So for y'all who are into twin stick shooters, it's really solid. Yes. And to get into a little bit more about, Centipede, these are both Atari, both addicting games. But Atari, to me, offers something Centipede doesn't. And that is variability into playing. Okay? So as we're Centipede, you're just shooting up, and the Recharged version did get some power-ups to make the game more exciting. You also have some different type of levels and puzzles to solve through in Centipede. Once you kind of understand the strategy of Centipede, you understand the strategy of Centipede.
Okay.
Yars actually has a couple of different ways to navigate the levels. And there are different ways the game will allow you to play this way. So one is you can shoot things, right? You have a gun and you get power-ups throughout the levels, but you can also nibble things. And nibbling things actually takes down, it's a more powerful attack.
Yes.
And so if you're playing really, if you really want to challenge, you can actually, the fastest things to do is to nibble through.
Exactly. I'm playing right now too.
And but it takes a little bit more skill because you have a little less reaction time.
And there's things shooting at you that you got to avoid, right?
Your awareness. Yeah, it really. You know what? I apologize, but it really does allow, it really does scratch the itch for a lot. Also, people who are into bullet hell shooters as well. Because of that too, that element too is that, especially if you're going after, right now I'm doing the nibbling and I have to worry about the things going on the screen, the turrets, aiming at me and shooting and things like that, all while trying to get in close to nibble on them and destroy them. So I love that aspect.
Yeah. I mean, for anyone who is a twin stick shooter pro, right? This is probably not going to give you what the upcoming release that we saw last week, or the sneak peek of a Death Carnival, which is designed to really push the limits of twin stick shooters. But it is still a solid warm up for someone who is really good at twin stick shooters, as well as for everyone else. It's still a challenge, right? Because it's not just you move up, you move down, and you're shooting forward. This is a 360 type of twin stick shooter where you will have to kind of know your way around the controller, the keyboard, to navigate some of the levels.
what I like is you just dive. You can just dive. You can just dive right in.
Yeah.
Other games, there's a story and you've got to progress and you can just pick this up. Last night I was in a little group, voice chat, and I just fired it up and I was just banging away while I was, chatting to the crew, chatting to the misfits.
Yeah.
It was just easy, just a quick play and quick whatever. So
Huge play.
And I like also that it's reactive in a way that you get out what you put in, if that makes sense. So if you want to go at it and be as crazy and be as aggressive as, let's say, I am right now, and I just died for the second time, then prepare for a challenge. If you want to fall back, you want to shoot, and you want to play the bullet hell approach and do that thing and do the maneuvering through you can do that too. But I think it's just it rewards you or it punishes you based on your approach, and I like that. It doesn't just sit there. It's not super static. It has multiple systems at play. It's just like, okay, we'll adapt to what you're doing and still give you a challenge and a lot of fun in the process, which I love.
No, and as you start to progress further in the games, the only way to actually kill the mini bosses on their move, like, y'all need to read the comic. You're gonna once you read the comic, all this makes sense. Okay. But you have to use the Zoron cannon. Zoron cannon. Yeah, it's the cannon in the back. It's the only way to kill the bosses. And initially, the first level, the first color of levels, kind of shows you that, and it's like a straight shot. But as you continue to progress, timing, resources, it really starts to add kind of some other elements to it to make it to really recharge. And I hate to use that term because I think it's it's in the name, but I love to use it because it really does, in my opinion, does justice to the original Yars.
Right.
And so this really kind of not up leveled. People will look at the visual effects of the game to think of how it up leveled it there, really recharged it. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Megan McDuffie and Tent. Not gonna say anything, but you might see her on a future episode of Shades of Purple. Shh. Don't tell. But I'm super big fan of her, award-winning composer in her early 20s doing awesome stuff. And some people will say it's the sound that up-leveled or recharged this game. I think, though, it's the gameplay that has really recharged the game, right? It has really evolved it into the current day twin-stick shooter. Obviously, there are things that it could have done. It could have made the bullet hells even more bullet helly. It could have done a couple of other things. But for me, this is actually my game. You all know you have those games that are in rotation. For me right now, it's Red Dead Redemption 2. Sometimes when I want to come out of that and I just need to clear my mind, and I don't want to play La Mode, I don't want to play Orcs Must Die, the old normal ones, I am actually going into Yars right now because I can get in and really have a satisfying gameplay really quick.
Yes, and that's another thing I was going to say about this game too. If there's a quick tip, from a newbie to somebody maybe who's just getting into it or maybe hasn't played in a while, for the nibble action or the bite animation or whatever you want to call it. It's when you get to the boss, the tip is that if you want to go ahead and power up your cannon like you would normally do if you're just eating through some of these, I call them honeycomb looking structures, but these guys to get some points to fill up your cannon meter, you can actually nibble on the boss and it'll actually quickly supercharge the meter.
Supercharge your meter.
You can just go ahead and go straight for the gusto and do the one shot or the two shot.
It has something.
It's really, really cool, really, really fun. And I feel bad for not playing this sooner.
No, it has some elements. Like I said, it has some elements to really up level that gameplay. As we're Centipede at the end of the day, they up leveled it. And don't get me wrong, I love Centipede and what they've done with it. But this one, I think they have they recharge a couple things. And I want to get to MJ Park's question here. Intrigued by the title. I'm wondering if we're talking about the entire Recharge series. So we are talking about the ones that have so far come to Stadia, and we may actually, when we get the rest of them that are coming to Stadia, we will talk about them. But MJ, curious to know, is there a certain game in the Recharge series that you're looking forward to? As we know that they were released last year on a lot of platforms. So if you want to get a sneak peek of some of the games, you can most certainly go do it. I'm waiting. You know, once you get a little older, you want to take a time to let the world slow down around you. You know, enjoy it, because you start to understand your own mortality, whether that's going to more doctor visits, the aches and pains you
Right.
get when you wake up. You wanted it to slow down.
Yeah.
And so I'm okay with seeing those games as they come. Look at David Wilson, E.T. Recharged. Oh my God. Yeah, sure. Do you know something we don't, Mr. David Wilson, all-purpose champ?
It has to
You
happen.
know, he wins a championship. He's
Apparently, David, they don't speak of ET.
Right.
I've got it on good authority. They don't speak of ET.
You don't mention it.
Well,
Apparently.
I think the reason they don't speak of ET is there are who owns that IP? Like, right? If we think of the original ET game, that was because the original game was released with a lot of flaws, right? I know, Jeff, you like it, but the original game was actually, they did the guy really wrong. They had a very short amount of time to release that game. And so I'm wondering if that's one of the reasons why you don't see it, you know, release.
Negative perception. But on Retro Rewind, there has been guests who, and even when I tweeted out that I got this, there were people who commented saying, game wasn't bad. If you know what to do, you can beat the game. There is, you know, it is fun, right? And maybe it's fun in its badness.
Wait. I can't see. I can't see. What trivia question did you answer? Did you ask? I'm looking everywhere for it. If we had trivia, we would have asked everyone. For you, what is the video game that had the first ever Easter egg? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, bonus points to you. I can't see. What was the Easter egg? Let's see how well you know Adventure.
David is gotta be over here laughing, man.
Game of the year 2022.
After 2023. 2023, Game of the Year 2023.
Yeah, but I guess it would have to release before, what is it, November 15th?
Yeah, something.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
And
would it be E.T.?
What?
For the first Easter egg?
No, we are.
He answered.
Okay.
He answered it. I can't see answer. Easter egg was the developer's name in Adventure. Ooh, good.
That's a good one.
Okay, Crow got it. I actually did know that. I know the story of that. There's actually a couple of Atari games like that. So also in the original Centipede, the developers' names are in the arcade version. If you were to reset it, it's the initials of the developers' names as well. So Atari had a thing that was Easter eggs back then.
We didn't call them that back then.
Isn't that crazy?
No, what did we call? We just said it's the developers' name.
I don't think we called them. I don't remember calling things an Easter egg in the 80s.
No, but good job. I can't see it. There's so much. Like I said, if y'all cannot tell, I'm a huge person for like legacies and history and how did we get here. Hence, Shades of Purple. Usually, that's the format we follow. And to me, you cannot talk about video games without mentioning Atari and mentioning the dominance Atari had at a time when it was like the Wild Wild West in video games.
Absolutely.
Right? And so to have these two powerhouses of video games currently on Stadia and recharged and remastered, or truly I don't even think we can call it remastered, truly just an entirely unique experience in their own right. To me, there's just something I get this warm and fuzzy about that. It's really hard for me to explain. Okay, here we go. Ooh, look at this. Warmbrum, one of the first Easter eggs in video games. An interviewer says to get to the Easter egg, the player has to find the great dot. Ooh, the creator tried to ask for credit as creator, but Atari wouldn't let him. I learned from Ready. Oh, look at that.
I remember that.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's also, I'm glad to have been on this show also because I get to talk about just, of course, listening to everybody else's stories and your experiences and Jeff experiences about this. But I think that for me, Atari is special and will always be special to me, regardless of what games I have or haven't played. It's always special to me because Atari 2600 was my first console. It was my first foray into gaming.
This starts the end
by
of
way
the
of my dad,
Atari dominance right
So
there.
and that's what I'm
Really
saying. Like, no matter, it wasn't an NES, it wasn't an SNES, it was an Atari 2600, and for forever, and like they will always be very important to me because of that. If it was not for Atari, I would not be in, like, as far as my origin, I would not be where I am today unless I had my hands on Atari 2600. So it's very, very important, and I'm really honored to be able to say that I've had a hand in those games. Some people may never touch a 2600, or never be able to play some of those games like Joust and Space Invaders and I got a chance to do that, and that was my origin story. So it's really awesome to be able to sit here and talk about that with you guys. I just had to get that out there because, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And to David Wilson, I would be highly surprised if we do not see all of the Atari games coming out eventually on Stadia. I think the community has been very vocal about it. But also, if you've ever seen any market research on the community, David Wilson, you're an exception. Most of us are actually, like, they show the demographic are in middle age to later middle age gamers, and Atari has seen extreme return, not extreme, but very high return on investment for bringing games to Stadia. So I would be very, very, so shout out to, she doesn't get a lot of, press coverage at the Stadia team. We always hear about Phil Harrison, but I have a special person who I've met a couple of times, Karine Yap. She is doing a phenomenal job curating the Stadia library. If y'all want to know, it's not a developer. It's not a tech person who does it. It's someone who really cares about the gaming community. You can look at, she does a lot of not-for-profit work in the gaming world, and just huge, like, to have her in the Stadia community, you're in good hands. That's all I have to say.
I know that we mentioned, of course, Yars, but what about Centipede? Show Centipede some love. And
oh my gosh,
Centipede, stories.
So Centipede, y'all, as y'all know, like, I train in the morning. I do. I'm getting back into my triathlons. I'm missing this year's season, but next year I do plan on being back in the tri season. But the way I think of Centipede is, I think of it as a marathon. Okay, it really comes down to your endurance on how to play it, like, right, how long you can withstand it. Like, for me, there's a certain limit I get to it where I just need something. I just don't have the endurance to go multi-million-dollar point runs.
Right.
Shout out to the people who can, hence the reason I like a Yars that has 30 levels that I can really lay into. But Centipede is a very unique game, right? Centipede, there are several different strategies to it. Centipede Recharged does probably one of the better soundtracks in the Recharged series. So if y'all can go out and find the vinyl to the Recharged series, Megan McDuffie did all of it. Shout out to her, she's amazing. And yeah, I think Centipede, it's also a really great, but I want to emphasize this because I don't think enough people take advantage of it. And kudos to Ninja Guy X and the rest of the developers of the Summer Championships, or people who did the Summer Championships. They focused on the challenges. So if you're someone who gets tired of Centipede and you haven't done, you've done like the arcade mode, the classic mode, and you're like, I'm done. I want something, a little bit more quick, easy in and easy out. Go to the challenge modes, because I think that's probably one of the better aspects of that doesn't get enough love on the Recharge series. But Centipede definitely. Have you played? You have not played Centipede, Mayne, if I understand.
No, I'm actually getting ready to boot that up right now too, so I can go ahead and see what all the fuss is about. But yeah, I definitely want to get into that and talk about that too, because I've got some. I'm sure I'll have some pointers, some tips, some things that I'd like to ask, or some questions, or some input while I'm playing.
Well, don't watch anything of Project Storm or Ryzak or any of those people, because they will show you kind of like the how to one of the I think the top strategy currently in Centipede.
Okay.
Which is kind of the same strategy you would use in Centipede classic version.
Okay.
So but it's still fun. It's still, you get to get in there, shoot your little centipede scorpions running across the screen, fleas falling down, trying to avoid spiders. But this one, you do get these power-ups that really make the game more unique experience, in my opinion. And it's pretty fun.
One thing I will say that you mentioned the challenge mode. I think that one of the things that I like about games, especially now, is that there's a lot of games and a lot of developers who are starting to respect people's time. They understand what kind of era or kind of way of life that we live now, and they're starting to really add in a lot of things that show people that, hey, you don't have to invest too much time and resources or whatever the case may be to get into the games. You can just try out these challenges and enjoy a piece of what we have, what this game has to offer, and still have a good time. So that's one thing I'm noticing a lot of games and a lot of developers do, is they start to really understand that people, as much as we used to, or not as much as we used to, we don't have that time anymore. So to be able to say, hey, you don't have to play the single player or whatever the campaign or whatever other offering that we have, but jump in and do these challenges. Try to hit a high score really quick, and you can still have a good time. I love that. That's what I see here in these Atari games. Another thing that I love the most about that is that they offer those options to people.
Y'all are gonna get another little sneak peek. Y'all know I do not name who I'm gonna do for Shades of Purple until Sunday, but I do know, like, I already plan these things out months in advance, usually. And today I'm actually going to be interviewing someone, and you mentioned something, and this is why I'm bringing it up. Atari does something really well for a game company, and that's that they capture fun.
Yes.
Really well. And so this week I'll be interviewing someone who actually knows something about capturing fun. You may know who he is. He's a pretty popular person. But I think this is what Atari does really, really well, that I would almost say, as far as video games go, this is a bold claim, y'all, top 3 publishers who can capture fun. And that means, like, you pick it up, you are addicted to it, and it is fun. The experience of it is fun. And to do it so simple, but yet so engaging and addictive, to me, is really a very fine balance to do.
Todd Howard. Just kidding.
But oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. With Bethesda Studios, I think Todd Howard has his hands full.
Yes.
Because I know Stadia Pro Gaming and Ray especially is pinning a lot of hopes on Starfield. So
me too, I'm not gonna lie.
I hope all the games do well, but I think we've kind of I talk about this a lot at work, when we over-engineer something. And I think we've tried to over-engineer fun. And I think to have a great experience in because if video games aren't fun, what are they? I'll tell you what they are. They're a boring educational thing where you're trying to learn some random technique or gameplay loop. Right. That is just horrible. You might as well go, like, take your worst class in high school or primary school all over again, because that's what it'll end up being. But to capture that fun, to capture that ability for you to, like, want to engage something, for you to just kind of, what LoFi talks about this a lot, the flow state, to get into that flow state, right? And how cool would it be if your entire life on this rock we call Earth is in that flow state? So anything that can get you closer to that flow state while you're here for that short amount of time, hats off to you. And I have to say, Atari, with both of these games, have been able to just do that, to put you in a flow state before you know it. Time has flown by. And to me, that is just something really special and unique.
That's a good point. Dr. Perp.
Yeah, if you can't tell, what is it, Ray? Well, no, Ray's not. I remember. I know he's looking forward to it, but we're hoping it is a good one and it can do the flow state. But if you can't get there, if you're not super happy with the game you just got, maybe you got really bored. I think I'm using the word "got" wrong there, but maybe you are not super excited with the game you were looking forward to, you're bored with the typical game, Atari's got your back. I think the two games here, most gamers will find really fun. I do think we have a fraudulent all-purpose champ in the community who will say that he's already played these. Those are boring. Those are old whatsoever. That's how you know he's not a true gamer, because if you were a true gamer, you could go pick this up right now. I challenge anybody. Go pick it up. Tell me you are not going to at least play 5 go rounds with it right now.
And that was your segment of Purple Shade.
Purple throwing shade.
Right.
Purple throwing shade.
We ain't gonna
Guys,
name no names.
Call me a troll. My God.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna steal some of that. So. All right. Okay, boys and girls, children of all ages, we got only a few minutes left of the show. Final thoughts.
Okay.
Mayne, I know you're still playing. So
Yes.
Purple first. Final thoughts on Atari, Yars, Centipede, 1942 as the next game, E.T. as the next game.
Yeah. So my final thoughts, stealing Mayne's, buy, try, pro, I forget, rent. This one was an easy one for me. This was an easy one for me because you can get it on pro for $10. You can buy it for $10. So it's like, whatever you do, just play it. That's what I'm going to say. This is something that you need to have in your library. And I do, my mom used to always say there's a difference between a need and a want, Purple. Yeah. And I was like, this one is a need. You need this one in there. You need that game that's going to get you excited. When you kind of get burned out, that thing that you kind of need you to get back up and going. A lot of guys in the chat will know what I mean when you're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I can get it up. Well, Atari is that thing. This Yars Recharge is that thing. It's that thing for me when I'm like, I'm kind of, you're worn out over there. I need my little thing too right now. That is Yars. All right, that's Centipede as well. Let me just throw it out there. But the title, we came in here. There's a little guy, a little population named Yars that I'm trying to save. I'm trying to get their revenge. This chick has been burned a lot of times. Anytime you're talking about revenge, I'm going to be there, right? I'm like, I got to help you out. I know how this feels. So, yes, play it. I don't care if you buy it. I don't care if you rent it. Hell, I don't even care if you steal it. But you have to play the game.
Pineapples.
Can't steal things on. Can't steal things.
Pineapples.
Can't steal things on Stadia.
We may get. What is it? An age ban or some other type of thing. I don't care. Sometimes the truth hurts.
For the love of God.
Sorry, MM. We got your channel demonetized because of Purple's comment. Sorry, MM.
This is good fun.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Mayne. So now you've been playing it for the last hour, or both of them?
Yes, I have. I've been playing it, and you know what? I'm having a lot of fun. I haven't. Usually, if I want to try a game and I'll try it, I'll play it for a couple minutes and I'll get my idea what the game is like and I'll put it down. I'm playing both of these right now. I'm playing Centipede right now, and just the visuals, the music, the vibe, the amount of challenge. This is one of those games, like right now, I'm leaning back in my chair, my legs propped up, and I'm just relaxing and having a good time. And I think that again is one of the qualities and one of the things that Purple was talking about as far as just being able to just jump in, and there's no guesswork. You just jump in and you're instantly kind of like in that flow state. You have an objective and you just go have fun and meet that. And I'm having a good time doing that. And I think that, again, I feel bad for not trying these out sooner, but if at least try them, please. Like, I'm doing this now on the show. If anything, try them. If this is that kind of game, or these are the kind of games that really speak to you, buy them. Buy them. If they're on pro, or if they make it to pro, or wherever they are, you make sure that you go ahead, much like Purple said, you make sure you go ahead and at least experience these games, because they're really, really cool and they're really, really fun. It reminds me, like, especially like Centipede reminds me of a game, Geometry Wars. I played that when Geometry Wars Evolved came out. It had the same similar art style, and it was very, very bright and engaging. And I think that this is one of those games where you can always come back to and just jump in and jump out of. Like I mentioned earlier, you don't have to, you can just jump in with the challenges and see what the challenges have to offer. You press for time, or you can sit down when you do have time and just jump in and challenge yourself even further. These games are both of these games are awesome additions to this catalog and to this library. And I look forward to seeing what else, Atari brings to the table. ET. But yeah, I definitely recommend these games, like, without a shadow of a doubt. No BS. Play these games, you guys. They're dope, and I feel bad, and I feel like a dunce for not doing it sooner.
You know what? Time is a scarce resource, and you've got a 2-year-old, so it is what it is.
Yes, it is, but I'm enjoying it though. But yes, I'll definitely make some time to jump back into these, especially being that I can play them anywhere, so I can definitely make some time for this game.
And I think I'm going to hazard a guess. I don't know if it's been announced, but I think all the Atari games will come out as pro titles. So if that's not worth the $14.99 in Canada, is it only $9.99 for you guys? William, we don't speak of ET. They don't speak of ET around there. I have it on good authority. They don't speak of ET. So I have it on great authority. ET is not spoke of, but yeah. Pitfall. Yeah.
Oh, what? Yeah, Pitfall can get some love.
That was
the other game that I played.
Ray's game a while ago. He said that was the game that he that he wanted to come. I think whatever they're bringing. I know they've announced a few, and I think they've got some surprises up their sleeve. So yeah, I think it's yeah.
So many good games. Well, Jeff, what do you? Jeff, did you give us? Come on, Jeff. I mean,
you were 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah, because again, the barrier to entry is so low. I was playing Centipede at the drive-in. I can see asked earlier if the kids, if those teens going to get in the Stadia. I doubt it. Because the one kid said something to his dad, and his dad is like, you're not getting another console, I'm not buying you anything else. And I said, well, it's free, but, whatever. I said, do you pay for your Google account? Same thing, but whatever. So, I know, Mayne, you got a 2-year-old. I know what that's like. You get you only get a few minutes between whatevers, and you can fire it up.
Yep.
You guys all know my 90-year-old mother and 95-year-old father.
Let's take a second for this. Yeah, let's take a second, Jeff. You said that earlier. Thank you for spending some time. Let's understand that, right? Jeff has both his parents, which I continue to say, Jeff, that is a gift.
That is a
amazing gift. But 90 and 95 years old, for one, which Jeff also reminds us that he has been to over, 50 of their birthdays in your lifetime? You've been up to over 50 of their birthdays. That is a lot of birthdays. But also, for all of us who have had relationships, think about relationships. That is an amazing testament right there to how long they've been together.
They've been together since 1950, and they got married in 55.
1950. And here's to hopefully they have 90 to 95 more to go, and that they have 90 to 95 more to go with Atari. They have, Atari has been there with them. They actually are a little surpass it, but you guys, I got to bring it back to gaming. But I just want to say, Jeff, that's amazing. Thank you for joining us during this amazing time.
I think before I knew you guys, I did another show with Ryzak and some other clown, and they were on the show. My dad's been on that show a couple of times, and my mother yelled at Ryzak. So when I was back in October, I think some of you may have seen that episode. So you guys have seen them. They are sitting outside right now by the pool, not going in, but they're sitting by the pool right now. Yes, they are old, twice my age, but look better than me. My dad, I think you guys have all seen pictures
Ray,
that
I can't
posted.
stand you. For that
He,
comment.
you know, and he's on the cookie and pie diet. So if you want to know how to live to 95,
That's
just
it.
eat the cookies and
That's
pie
it, man.
and sweets.
That's it, dude.
They're by the pool, and if they wanted to, they could be playing Stadia right now.
They wanted to. Yeah.
They could be. They have the option to. I just want to make sure I throw that out there that they could.
Be. I could bring a tablet. I could bring a phone out to them, and they could be out there just jamming away on the Stadia by the pool. I have played. I have played Stadia from the pool. I have played some games when I'm lying in the floaty. Ray would know that. That was on my OnlyFans. Ray would know that. Ray, shout out to Ray. Big supporter of my OnlyFans. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate all the love.
Oh my
good
god.
Old Vidya games.
But so 10 out of 10, Jeff. Centipede, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yours, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Atari, if you are out there, you said you were gonna come by. You obviously have a 20 out of 20 right now.
And
so
I think Ray in the chat, I think he gave them a 10 earlier. Did I see that scroll by the screen?
I think so. But if Atari, if you're checking this out, the people at Atari, I want to just mention this to you really quick. Is that for one, I'm very grateful to have been able to play these games anywhere that I've ever played. And you can go back and just throughout my journey as a gamer, I've seen your games show up on PlayStation. I've seen your games show up on Xbox or anywhere that I've ever played. I've seen your games, and the longevity and the way that you're able to repackage and repurpose and recharge your games to be able to reach out newer generations is amazing. And I also said that a couple months ago, or I think about a month or so ago, when we were doing the whole, when Centipede first came out, it was some time ago. And I said, maybe they should start to focus on, the community should focus on doing some challenges and things like that. And crazily enough, it happened. And look where we are. Look what's happened in the community because of this game that other people would have written off because of the age or the time or whatever the case may be. So thank you for that. And I appreciate you. I'm sure we all appreciate you and what you've done and what you will continue to do. And I just want to just give my hats off to you and give you your flowers because it's very much overdue and much needed. Even if you don't hear it often, we all appreciate you. Thank you very much, Atari.
Thank you, Atari. And shout out to LoFi Monk, who said this was going to happen when the Atari Recharged series first came. I blew him off. I said, no, it can't. You can't excite me like that. And then what did Atari do? They said, oh, we know you.
Right.
And they came in, and then they did it. And then they did that thing where, you do that. What did someone call me? Like just the rhythm got me in the flow. If y'all can't tell, I get super excited about this. Thank you, Atari, for doing it. I didn't think I could love like that again. But I didn't think I could feel like that again. And y'all did it. You did. Yes, you did. You knew some moves I hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And you not only did you know them, you knew them well. So thank you.
There we go. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Don't forget, you can find the links to all of, not just the three of us, but the other three who will be back. That would be your LoFi Monk, your Recharged, Ray 3473, and of course, William Piper, also known as Stadia Pro Gaming. They will be back next week with another fabulous game. So stay tuned to the tweets to find out what it is. Make sure to keep an eye on the PNTS website. There is a current giveaway going on right now. There is other giveaways coming up. There is lots of stuff planned for October, November, December. So make sure you follow all of us on our socials, on our YouTubes, on our MySpaces. Make sure you add me on Friendster. Make sure you add me on all of those platforms because that would be great. There will be an article posted on this review by the great PurpleHaze, so make sure you watch the tweets for that. Make sure you like it and make sure you comment your rating of the game in the comment section of the article. That is
coming, y'all. It's coming.
It is coming. It is coming.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. I thought I would be the beast, Ray. I thought I would be, or is Mayne the beauty?
Well,
I
listen,
guess-
I
I
haven't
guess-
been
I
on
guess
camera
Mayne-
for a reason.
I guess Mayne's beauty. So
Going through
there we
Thank you for
transpiration.
letting my hair stand it. Because if Mayne gets on camera, his
No,
hair
no.
takes center stage, and I'm like,
go. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
did
I'm
it
trying
to me again.
It's gotten
Soon my
quite,
hair is
Oh.
long as Purple's.
it's gotten quite longer
Soon.
since you last seen it.
Oh, is it longer than mine? Is it longer than mine?
I think you know what? It will never be as long as yours.
You know, I
Never.
wanna have it flowing down like purple. I wanna have.
By the way,
Right now.
can we all in the chat show some show Perp some love with that rocking that new style of how she has her hair? It's looking good.
Don't say that because I gotta go pay for that one. Like, that was just a special gift for yours.
Same. It's just the same. It still looks really nice. That's one of the things I was like, okay, Perp, I see you. He said, I got that Atari. I got to get that Atari look going on.
Try to change up my look for y'all. Try to change it up. But yeah, I did it for you, Yars. I did it for you.
See?
Thank you, Atari. Thank you, Atari. All right,
All
thanks
right.
everyone. We will see you. We will see you in 2 weeks, us guys. But you will
Yes.
see the other crew next week. Have a great week, everyone.
Keep
See
playing
ya.
what you're playing, y'all. Peace.
Proof is in the playing, I hear.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it
Right
is.
here.
Just keep
Pay
playing.
where you want to play.
Okay. And
All right.
Where's our producer? Where's our producer supposed to take us off
And
camera?
blooper reel.